I do have Dee Power with me in studio now. Dee, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad, Chris. And yourself?
I'm very, very good. Where did the music kind of passion come from?
I got obsessed with Beethoven actually when I was about 2. My grandmother just always had a piano in the house. There's a lot of music on both sides of my family, and yeah, there's a picture of me trying to play piano when I'm about 18 months. I don't know. I just heard Beethoven. That was kind of it. So I had war with my mum. I was trying to play piano since then, but she couldn't get anyone to agree to take me on until I was nearly 5. So yeah, I started playing when I was 5 and playing ever since.
No, piano. I was just going to ask you what attracts you to the piano, but it's obviously you were grown up playing it, really, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I don't know, was it to do with my grandmother or the look of it or whatever, but it was literally, I just heard one Beethoven piece and that was it. I just wanted to be able to play like that. So.
And would you have any other instruments that you can play?
I do play the organ. I used to play the organ sometimes in St Finbarr's Cathedral when I was in UCC, and I can play a tiny bit of harpsichord, but no, I can't play guitar or anything like that. I play a good shaker, all right.
But otherwise, piano is your main one, right? What kind of experience do you have? I mean, were you ever in a band?
Yeah, I'm in and out of bands kind of constantly. Not because of artistic differences, just time schedules. So I sang a lot of sean-nós and trad when I was younger, and then how old was I when I started? I suppose things changed when I went to St Finbarr's Cathedral when I was about 11, because I learned how to sight sing really well while I was there. So when I was in college, I was kind of mainly doing like old Renaissance and Baroque and medieval music, and I continued doing that until about 2010 really, and it was Yossi Waldman actually that got me kind of into playing gigs and bands. He asked me to join him for the jazz weekend back in 2010, and I did, and I've kind of been playing in various lineups ever since. At the minute I'm doing my own stuff, not even with the band actually. I'm just kind of doing my own stuff because everyone moved. So I play like solos, I play covers and originals depending on the venue, and then I'm in a purely cover band called the Angels as well, and it's classic vintage blues and rock, and we play like, you know, Leonard Skinner and Crean and Creedence and Rolling Stones and all that kind of jazz.
You mentioned you do your own stuff too. Do you write your own stuff?
I do, yeah.
What kind of music would you write?
Sad, depressing, everything is terrible. I'm trying to change that now though. I don't know, it's been classed as folk rock. I don't really know. The songs come and I just leave them happen. So
could you describe your own genre? Or is it everything?
I suppose it's like classical soul. If I had to...
If you were to put a caption on it, it would be classical soul.
There's a lot of classical going on, but I play a lot of bass with my left hand. So yeah, I would say classical soul.
Gigs, do you do many, or is it once every so often?
I'm kind of playing all over the place at the minute, because I've got a residency in the Bodega, so that's every Thursday, between 7 and 9. And then, yeah, I have gigs next. Yeah, I am playing in the Bodega on Thursday.
And she has a list in front of her as well, just in case she forgets.
I might forget. So yeah, I'm in the Bodega Thursday from 7 till 9, and then I'm in Gallagher's also on Thursday. Later on the night, you have 2 gigs in the one night. And then I'm playing on Saturday, I think, in the Ovens with Emer Bradley. Then I'm actually... The jazz weekend is always my busiest weekend of the year. So I'm going on a week's holidays after the jazz weekend. So I'm quiet then, actually. The next gig after that isn't until the 9th of November for Cork Rocks.
Which, of course, you will be playing as well.
Yeah.
What made you get involved in Cork Rocks?
I just had a connection with Stephen, and it was just... I really loved what he was doing. I first went to see Cork Rocks about 2 years ago, and everyone that's involved, like, I've made such good friends and connections. Like the Bradley sisters now, for example, that are also involved in Cork Rocks. Like, we support each other constantly in terms of everything, harmony, tunes on the night, if they're ever short of gear, things like that. So there's like a really, really strong community in the Cork Rocks family. And yeah, I just loved it. Like, not to mention the ridiculous amounts of talent that is floating around between, like, I could just name so many people, but off the top of my head, Linda Cullen, Fintan Lucy, the Lost Gecko, the Bradley sisters, it's just absolute craziness. Like, so I was actually supposed to be playing with Veronica as well, and that night, but I took on too many things at the same time, so I'm sadly not playing with Veronica now. Still be there on the night. So
would you reckon that Cork Rocks band is kind of giving you a lot more opportunities than you wouldn't have had?
Definitely, yeah. Just in terms of promotion alone, and Stephen Manning is the man. Like, he's just, what he does for the people that, you know, he'll just do absolutely everything that he can give, he gives to it, you know. We're like his little adopted children or something, you know.
And what does the future hold for Dee Power?
I was hoping to record my EP in January, but I'd say it's probably going to be March at this stage because I'm working full time as well. But I teach piano as well and stuff. So
How did you get into that?
by accident. An old friend of mine had a daughter who wanted to play piano, and I kind of started teaching her about 3 years ago. And I don't really have many students, so I only have like 4 or 5. I kind of keep it like that because a lot of people just send their kids to piano lessons, and the kids don't want to be there. And I'm not going to take money and try and make some child play something that they don't want to play. So yeah, I only have 5 students at the minute, which is fine.
And is it a weekly thing?
Yeah, it's weekly. Yeah, I've 1 adult and the rest are kids. I love teaching. Like if you've got someone who really wants to be there, like just, you know, I get fierce excited when they come, and you know, I've set them like a certain amount of work, and then they do more of it sometimes. And yeah, it's really nice because I had a brilliant piano teacher when I was growing up. I had her for 11 years. Catherine Scanlon was her name, like, and she just, yeah, trying to keep passing it on.
So back to the question, could you see yourself, you know, teaching piano in the future?
Yeah. Well, I prefer to be performing all the time. Like, I love performing, I love playing, I love singing. But at the minute, I'm just like, I've got gigs kind of booked until the middle of December between having my own stuff and with the other band, The Angels. So I'm just keeping busy doing that and kind of winging and praying it after that. The plan is, you know, the right things will happen.
That's always a good plan, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's foolproof. Like,
I'm going to ask you about the X Factor now. Is it something you would decide to do if X Factor came to town, say in the morning? Would you pop down and perform?
No.
Why not?
It's just not my cup of tea. I don't like being told what to do all that much, and I have no interest in basically putting myself up on a platform to be annihilated. That's the main one. I'm too sensitive, I suppose, to just be ripped apart by one person. You know, it can follow on for a long time, and if and when I make it, I want to kind of make it my, you know, I'd rather make an album that 10 people bought that I was proud of than sell 1 million that I'm going, oh God, I can't believe I recorded that. So, no, definitely not.
The X Factor tends to get an astounding no when I ask this question every week, but I'll keep asking. I have got a few yeses. There's been a few out there, so I'll keep asking them. Can you give me, you know, what's maybe the worst thing about being a musician?
The lack of sleep, moving gear. It's always moving gear. Like, my piano is actually heavier than me, so I have constant bruises on my hip from kind of balancing it. It's just like, I'm really clumsy as well, so I kind of have a way of propping it on my hip, and then I always tear myself on the elbow when I'm moving around a corner. The best part is just someone coming up to you afterwards telling you how amazing they think you are, and you know that you've played a song that they associated with or whatever. There's nothing really to describe what that's like.
Now, I am going to play a song by you in a second. It's called Rising Tide. Can you tell me about it?
That was actually a love song that I wrote for someone years and years and years and years ago. And yeah, we had a pretty intense relationship, and we'd never spent any time apart. And he went away for about a month, and I was absolutely blind drunk when I wrote the song, actually, on the phone, bawling my eyes out to him. I was really, and I woke up the next morning and there was just these lyrics and rough chords when I deciphered them. And the minute I sat down and played it, like, I didn't edit it or anything. So
a song you can't even remember actually writing?
No.
I suppose not a bad way to write a song. Here is Dee Power, and this one is called Rising Tide.
Drowned in a sea of emotion, the energy that is consumed from loving you in such a fashion. Romantics would say that I'm doomed, 'cause I don't agree with that weather, 'cause never before have I swooned. Months later together, having fun doing whatever, the chemistry when we play well too. felt safer than with you. So wanted love, cherished and power. For in each note I sing and each word I let ring is because over me you have towered. I'm happy right here, right now, taking whichever road that we choose. I know that when with you through heaven or hell, together we can never lose. Here, let your mind